Hi, welcome to the Ekklesia. This is the church staff at Church of 434 talking about The Chosen. And so we are continuing our breakdown, analysis, commentary, brilliant insights into episode 2 of the Chosen series called Shabbat. Or as we say, Shabbat laka laka laka. It is the moment where we are. It's what we say. We're kind of digging into what we liked about that episode in particular. In our previous one, if you're with us, we talked about the characters that we saw and the characters that we liked and how we related to them. In this one, let's talk a little bit about the moments that were there. I mean, obviously, the show is about different perspectives, very creatively done, as I mentioned earlier, of looking at the Shabbat and that worship through the eyes of a number of people. But what was your favorite moment or moments, if you will, and why? I mean, why did it resonate with you?
Well,
first of all, I like the hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
The Shabbat hot dogs.
Oh, Shabbat. Man, I'm like, where are we going?
It's always a food reference.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. That stand is right next to the Sparrow. Okay.
Well, I can go with the one that, of course, I teared up. I don't think I did in episode 3, though, but I can't remember. But in this one, it was the encounter that Richard had kind of talked about. It's where Nicodemus and Mary have an interaction. But I think I start to lose it when she's like, he called me Mary. He called me by my name. And so, because that was just a huge moment, and it comes back here. But then she says, all I can tell you, because she doesn't know his name, is I was one way, and now I'm different. And then I think her next line in there somewhere is, and something about he was the in-between, and the difference in between was him.
And the only thing happened in between was him.
And that was just huge, and that,
You have the exact quote. I have the exact quote.
He has the quote.
I don't understand it myself. I was one way, and now I'm completely different. And the thing that happened in between was him. So yes, I will know him for the rest of my life.
Yes,
I should have a hoodie about that.
And that's just an aha moment, because I think Nicodemus, while he's searching, that's what he's searching for. I want to know Jesus the way Mary does. And so that's the part that got me, was just the depth that she understood who he was by how he approached. He knew her name. Out of all the people that he could have had an encounter with, he sought her and called her Mary, and that made her, stop and drop in the movie anyway, and in this telling. Just a powerful moment of how intimately God knows us and we can know him.
Yeah, that's cool. That encounter, I like the way that encounter starts too, where when he identifies himself and reconnects, and then she immediately realizes her head's not covered.
Right.
And shows.
And he's like, I'm not here to bust John.
No. I'm not here to enforce rules or anything like that. But I mean, her quickness to pick up on, what's the social norm that I need to
and the fact that she did not know him at all when he approached her, and he's trying to, what happened? I tried to help you, and she's like, I don't remember that at all. Of just what a blessing that when the demons were blessing and curse, because I guess the demons had so overtaken her that wasn't even her at all, that she would remember who he was.
No, it hurt your feelings, but you didn't do anything for me. That moment, that's pretty tough, right?
Wasn't you?
Wasn't you, dude? You didn't do anything.
Yeah, so a powerful moment for many of the characters in that scene. But did I steal your thunder? You have
no, because I got it in the first episode.
Oh, okay.
So no.
Do you have another one?
I guess what I would do would be the differences in observing the Sabbath in different households. There was a much wealthier, with the ornate kind of celebration. There was around the table, and then there was Matthew. So they kind of went full tilt here, different ways of people sharing. And I have to admit that Mary, who didn't know everything, she got it mostly correct. Of course, when you're doing it in front of Jesus.
Right?
Well,
stick with your note cards.
And the slight little thing where she had left the empty chair, and they said, who was that? She said Elijah,
Yeah.
And
See,
they're like,
that's
well,
my
that's,
favorite moment.
oh, okay, you take it then.
Oh, okay. Well,
But the different things, very much the religious upper class, all the religious people who are jockeying to get closest to the table,
Right. Right. He says
and all that. There's no,
it's a beautiful tapestry.
there's no worship going to get ready to happen.
It's all performance.
Right. It's all just going through the motions, right? And then you have just the innocence of somebody doing their best in front of the Lord and not getting it totally right, but giving it their best shot. That makes a difference. And then the pitifulness of, Matthew with the dog, where he has no one. He matter of fact says, "I'll come back if I got any left over," and then pretty much they're just kind of doing that together. But all three different groups, it was interesting. That's different than our society, where there is very few worshipers on our Sunday or Sabbath going anywhere to worship. But all those different levels of people still were honoring the Sabbath. That was kind of an interesting thing to me about how ungodly, I hate to say it like that, but our culture has gotten to where there is no reverence whatsoever for anything at all spiritual, not even the appearance of anything spiritual. So I thought it was kind of an indictment. I said, man, that society was so entrenched with that being an important part, and ours has totally abandoned that.
Mm-hmm. Lessons to be learned there. One of them is too that people should like Matthew more.
Poor Matthew.
I put it this way: they did a good job.
Effective. I effectively don't like it. I'll put something off because you're going to put us back on track. For me, mine was the moment I realized I misread something. Because you had at the opening scene, you got the priest kind of wandering through town, and everybody's looking very reverently towards the priest. And then you have Mary wandering off looking for the flower thing, right?
Yeah.
Completely oblivious as to what's happening. And he stops and stares. And in my head, I was like, okay, so you're just being all priesty and snotty. But to see the miracle of God, once he sort of debriefs what it is he's actually thinking, to see the miracle of God draw him to a standstill as opposed to his judgment to a forefront, to me was pretty powerful. Because a lot of times, especially in our culture, we see miracles like magicians. Like, do a good trick, God raise him from the dead, or dance juggle plates, whatever it is you do. And in this case, the miracle of Mary, the hand of God was so profound that he changed the perspectives of people, right? And the miracle wasn't about look at the trick Mary can do, but look at the greatness of the God that does the miracle. So for me, when I saw this priest, shutting everybody down and them religiously stepping in order and him staring her down, in my head it was like, you're just indicting. Yeah. And in the reality, it's the power of God to say, you know what, I'm bigger and I got this. And so to hear him go, that Mary, she's a totally different person. That was pretty cool.
No, so and again, somebody will know this. Mark will know if we don't know it. Wasn't that he was there in the red quarter with Nicodemus, right? That guy, the guy. Okay,
I
yes,
think
he
so.
was.
Yeah, say that loud.
From the producer, yes.
Even though you're off camera, say it out loud.
So Mark has confirmed, yes. So that was one of the characters that was in that scene. Yeah, I had not thought about that.
I totally misread it, and I loved how the storytellers sort of took that story and turned, because it could have gone either way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, you were getting ready to steal my thunder, which is
Sorry.
not a big deal. But to me, I love that whole interaction with Mary trying to get right and using her note cards and stuff like that, and being nervous. And I thought it was really intriguing. She was Rudolph in the Island of Misfit Toys. I mean, the crowd that was coming, and the one guy, I never get invited, and that
Barney.
yeah, and then, just the lines and the jokes and stuff like that, and then obviously leaving a chair because she just doesn't know how to do it. Interestingly enough, though, that moment though was that chair is left for Elijah. It's symbolic, but we only do that once a year.
Passover, right?
Yeah. And all of a sudden, then the knock at the door, and then, hey, we have an extra seat. And to me, I got
that was awesome.
almost kind of that breathtaking, ooh, that's a big moment when Jesus takes that seat
I just see. Yeah.
for Elijah, because again, that's what they had been waiting for. So in this formerly possessed woman's home, they have now portrayed this, and Jesus has taken his rightful seat at the table. And then when she says, "You go ahead and do this because you know what the heck you're doing," he goes, "No, it's your house," which is the way that Jesus moves in, right? I mean, he doesn't take over. He basically gives us that opportunity to respond and trust and listen. And so I thought in that moment right there, they just captured so much of what is lost and not appreciated and not valued about the way that Jesus works. I mean, it's very subtle, but I thought it was extremely powerful. And so that was really my favorite moment. I mean, I like the episode, but
Another subtlety of that moment, though, is, Barnaby, and I think her name is Shula, is that right? She's blind, and I mean, they make a reference, oh, she's blind, like he doesn't know that, but he doesn't heal her.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Why wouldn't he go, well, I can take care of that for you?
Well,
It wasn't his time.
Of course, and the only thing I would have changed in the whole thing is when Barnaby looks at Jesus and says, "She's blind," and Jesus says, "I can see that." See, that would be awesome. But he didn't throw that line. I would have done that. No,
Because he tells good jokes.
I have a final point.
you have a final point.
I have a final point.
Assuming this to be final.
Assuming this is final.
Dang, better be a good point.
At whose Sabbath did Jesus choose to go to?
Boom! Drop the mic. Yeah, there you go.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. And that's the theme of Jesus' ministry throughout his entire ministry. He's with castaways. He's with the have-nots. He's with the dregs of what they thought their status society was. It wasn't up there with the ornate people.
No,
Which eventually cost him his life, but it was all planned anyway. But
that's a pretty good point. That's good. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. And so that's it. So that's what our moments were. You had your moments, I'm sure, as you watched it. And if you haven't watched it, please watch it again. I mean, it is one of those great storytelling episodes, I think, where you kind of weave all those main characters, and you learn so much about where they are, where their faith is, where they are in their journey in that one short little episode by just taking a look at how they choose to worship. I think it's huge. I mean, not to get preachy, but there sure is a spiritual impact because, if people could look at the way that we worship and what we bring to worship, it would reveal a great deal about who we are and where we are in our walk with Jesus. But that's probably something that, would be a different episode, probably a different show, different podcast. Anyway, for the gang here, we will see you on our next episode as we once again break down the Shabbat.
Shalom Shabbat.